Ahead of young Sheldon's final season, it's the perfect time to look back at its last 6 seasons and see how they fare against each other. Debuting in 2017, Young Sheldon was an effort to further capitalize on the immense popularity of The Big Bang Theory. Granted that the idea for the show didn't start as a spin-off for the nerd-centric sitcom, Jim Parsons' involvement made it easier to workshop it to become a prequel show for his fan-favorite character. The original idea for Young Sheldon is for it to be an origin story for Sheldon Cooper, based on his penchant for telling stories about his childhood in Texas. Over time, however, Young Sheldon has evolved into something bigger than Sheldon. While it continues to tell stories about his childhood, the prequel has expanded its storytelling to other members of the family. At this point, every single Cooper has had one great story arc or two. Several of them are still waiting for resolutions in Season 7. Young Sheldon is ending with its popularity at its peak. But just because it seems like it has recently resonated with more viewers in more recent years, it doesn't necessarily mean that they are the best of what the show has to offer. 2 years after it started standing on its own following The Big Bang Theory's 12-year run in 2019, Young Sheldon finally found its own identity. While it isn't known for honoring previously established continuity, it has also taken advantage of opportunities to reference The Big Bang Theory in several different ways. Young Sheldon Season 4 featured Amy for the first time, confirming that Sheldon does have a son in the future, named Leonard Cooper. Later in the year, the sitcom also revealed where Sheldon got the idea for his mobile virtual presence device, MVPD, which is one of his most memorable and bizarre creations in The Big Bang Theory. Young Sheldon Season 4 was the perfect midpoint between being a The Big Bang Theory prequel and a show on its own. Sheldon's story was compelling, something that the latest seasons just can't seem to do. What makes this more impressive is the fact that Young Sheldon Season 4 is set at the height of the coronavirus pandemic. Coming from a solid debut year, Young Sheldon Season 2 repeated what worked in Season 1, and then added some new things to it. The show's focus was still on Sheldon, but the rest of the cast were starting to get their respective focus as the show explored how Sheldon's existence impacted the people around him. Meanwhile, it also featured fresh plot lines, with the Cooper parents having to deal financial issues, getting pregnant, and eventually losing the baby. Meanwhile, Mima and Dr. Sturgis's romance became rocky. The best thing from the year, however, was the Young Sheldon Season 2 finale tribute to The Big Bang Theory. In Young Sheldon Season 6, the show finished its transformation to become a family show. Mandy's introduction in Season 5 and the subsequent revelation that she and Georgie were unexpectedly pregnant subjected Sheldon's whole family to a massive crisis. At the same time, Mary and George's marriage underwent a couple of unexpected twists and turns, which involved rekindling their romance after Mary was kicked out of her church, and then eventually confronting each other about their respective special friends. One of the reasons why Young Sheldon Season 6 is one of the best storytelling for the show thus far lies in its original storylines, meaning plots that were never mentioned in The Big Bang Theory. Mandy and Georgie's romance was at the forefront of the year, but there was also Paige's rebellion arc, as well as Missy's own. Young Sheldon Season 6 crystallized the idea that it can become so much better than just being a The Big Bang Theory prequel. This resonated with viewers, with the spin-off posting series high ratings during the year. Coming from a strong Season 4 and functioning as the narrative launching pad for Season 6, CBS further diversified its storytelling for Young Sheldon Season 5 by paying more attention to other members of Sheldon's family. At this point, the show was clearly on a transitional stage, as it veered away from its original premise of being only Sheldon's origin story. Instead of being a lighthearted comedy, Young Sheldon Season 5 also leaned into more dramatic storylines, which was set up in the Season 4 finale, featuring George and Mary's fiery argument and the subsequent suggestion of his tendency to cheat. The first 2 seasons of Young Sheldon stayed true to the show's original premise. Sheldon remained the center of the series' focus, with the Season 2 finale coinciding with the Big Bang Theory's emotional swan song. When it returned in 2019 for Young Sheldon Season 3, however, there was a gradual shift to its storytelling. At this point, the family comedy was still trying to find the balance between its comedic and dramatic moments, with storylines such as Dr. Sturgis's hospitalization in a mental hospital, which impacted Sheldon in various and a more whimsical plot that involved a talking pool water.